you today? It's Ian with GuitarLessonsReview.com. It's a nice sunny day behind me here outside my window, so I wanted to put a little simple lesson together here for you. What I'm going to talk about today is a little bit of theory, a little bit about musical keys, okay? What we're going to do is, if you've ever jammed with anybody or you've been playing with someone who's a little more advanced than you and they talked about, you know, this is in the key of D or this is in the key of A, pardon me, and you weren't sure what they were talking about, today I'm going to help you get started on the journey of learning what chords are in what keys and give you some tips on how to understand what chords work together. So, we're going to do an example today. We're going to do in the D and A, okay? And we're going to choose those two because they use all major chords. So I'm going to assume you know the A, the E, the G, and the D chords, okay? And we're going to piece those together in some patterns that work in the key of A and the key of D. So to get started, let's start with A. When we talk about keys, keys are basically like in the key of A, there's a set number of notes that all work together there that make sense. They all sound together, they all mesh. And these keys are based off of the scales for the particular key. So when we talk about A, we're talking about A major, not A minor. So below here we've got the A major scale. And what we're going to talk about here is something that's 1, 4, and 5 is I guess what it's known as, or the Roman numeral I, and then IV and V for 1, 4, and 5. And this corresponds, in the scale below me here, to the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th notes in that major scale. So, looking at that scale, we've got A, we've got B, we've got C, we've got D is the 4th, and then E is the 5th. The handy way that I've seen guitar teachers taught me this before is they've used their hand and they use the first 5 notes, so they've got A, B, C, D, and E, then they eliminate the 2 and the 3 note, and they've got A, D, E. So this is what's known as the 1, 4, and the 5, okay? In that particular key of A, or A major scales we're looking at here. What we want to do now is we want to take that to our guitar and talk about chords, not just notes. So if we take our 1, 4, and 5, our A, D, and E from that A major scale, those chords are probably the most standard or most used progression in the key of A, or most, maybe not progression, but mix of chords in popular music. So let me give you an example. So we've got A, that's our 1, right? And we've got D, that was our 4. Back to the 1, that's, we'll go to 5, the E, right? You can hear how they work. Right? They sound nice together. Now if we threw a C in there, it doesn't sound right, does it? Even though it's still a major chord and C's right before D, it just doesn't quite sound right, does it? So this is this rule sort of the 1, the 4, and the 5, like I showed you here. The 1, the A, the 4, the D, and the 5, the E, right? So if somebody says, hey, this is in the key of A, you can feel pretty confident that you're going to be playing A, D, and E throughout that particular tune or jam or whatever it is they're doing, okay? And this rule holds true for pretty much any key if you take a look at that scale. So let's do D as another example. Remember, we're looking for the 1, the 4, and the 5 in the D scale, D major. And below me here, the D major scale, we've got D, E, F, G, A. So taking out our 2 and the 3, we've got D, G, and A. All major, right? D, G, A. 1, 4, 5. So D, the 1, and then G, right? And A's are 5. There's our A for the 5th. So they all fit together really well, right? You can hear it. Again, if we throw in a C there, quite sound as sweet as the D, G, A, right? So, using that knowledge, you can now apply that to different keys based on the scale for that key. You can look for the 1, the 4, and the 5. But those two are very commonly used, the D and the A. Right, so just to recap, in key of A, our 1, our 4, our 5 is A, E, D. Right? I actually did those backwards for you. Should be A, D, E. And in our key of D, we've got D, G, and A. That's all there is to it. So if you've been curious or wondering about some stuff like this, like what is up with, what do they mean when they say key of A, or how do I figure out what chords and notes fit inside a particular key? There's a little shortcut for you to figure it out. So, hope you enjoyed that lesson. Again, my name's Ian with GuitarLessonsReview.com. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.